The sun rose like any other day, but for millions of people across the globe, what was about to unfold would forever be etched into history, moments so surreal that they defied logic, emotion, and even belief. These weren't scripted scenes from a blockbuster movie, they were real events, captured by ordinary people in extraordinary circumstances. It began one quiet morning in a small town in Japan. A fisherman named Haruto was recording the calm sea before his daily trip when he noticed something unusual: the water receding far beyond its usual boundary. The seabed, littered with fish and seaweed, glistened under the early light. Confused yet intrigued, Haruto kept filming. Within minutes, the calm turned into chaos. A roaring wall of water appeared in the distance, rising higher and higher. The video captured the terrifying power of nature as the tsunami surged toward the coast. Haruto's footage went viral, showing the raw force of the ocean reclaiming its path. That clip not only documented devastation but also became a stark reminder of life's fragility. Across the world, in a bustling city in Brazil, another camera was recording something equally unbelievable. A young street performer named Lucas was entertaining tourists with his juggling act at a crowded square. As he tossed flaming batons into the air, a sudden explosion echoed in the distance. Panic rippled through the crowd. People scattered, but Lucas, still holding his camera, turned it toward the smoke rising from a nearby bus. He ran closer, filming chaos unfolding: strangers helping strangers, pulling injured passengers from the wreck. His live stream showed humanity's truest form under crisis: compassion. The video spread like wildfire, earning millions of views and inspiring countless others to act selflessly in moments of fear. Then came the miracle over the icy plains of Alaska. Pilot Emma Roberts, flying a small private plane, faced an engine failure midair. Her passenger, a tourist vlogger, kept recording, unaware that his camera would soon capture one of aviation's most astonishing moments. As the propeller stuttered and the warning alarms blared, Emma's voice remained calm: "Hold on tight. We're not done yet." The plane glided over the frozen expanse, losing altitude fast. Below them, miles of wilderness, no clear landing strip. But somehow, through sheer instinct and courage, Emma maneuvered the aircraft toward a frozen river. With breathtaking precision, she landed the plane on ice, sliding to a halt without a single injury. The video of her landing went viral overnight, praised by pilots and adventurers alike. To this day, it's called the Miracle on Ice River. From human courage to natural wonder, the next clip stunned scientists. In the savannas of Kenya, a wildlife photographer captured a rare alliance that defied every law of the wild. A lioness, having just given birth, discovered a lost baby antelope wandering near her den. Instead of attacking, she nudged it gently, almost protectively. For hours, she stood guard, keeping hyenas at bay until park rangers intervened. The footage broke hearts and sparked debates about animal instincts and empathy. Some called it coincidence, others saw it as proof that compassion transcends species. But not every unreal moment was about courage or kindness. Some revealed the strange, unexplained mysteries of our planet. In Iceland, a drone operator captured a formation of light swirling above a glacier, perfectly circular, moving rhythmically as if guided by an unseen hand. Scientists later explained it as an optical phenomenon, but those who saw the footage couldn't shake the feeling that something beyond science was at play. The video, viewed millions of times, became known as the Halo of the North, adding another entry to the list of mysteries that continue to fascinate the digital world. And then came the moment that united the internet in awe. A child in India, only 7 years old, noticed a small puppy drowning in a flooded drain during monsoon season. Without hesitation, the boy, no taller than the railing beside him, jumped in. A passerby recorded the rescue on their phone. The boy struggled against the current, coughing and slipping, but he refused to give up. Finally, he lifted the shivering puppy above the water, smiling through his exhaustion. The video spread worldwide, with millions praising the bravery of a child who showed what it truly means to be a hero. Each of these moments spontaneous, raw, and real reminded humanity of its own depth. Cameras had turned into time capsules, freezing seconds that proved truth is often more powerful than fiction. In every corner of the planet, people realized something profound, that the most shocking, inspiring, and unbelievable stories aren't written by authors or filmed by directors, they happen every single day, waiting for someone brave enough to press record. As the screen fades to black, a voice echoes softly. In a world full of noise, the real stories, the ones that change us, are the ones that happen when no one expects them. The first part of this journey closes here, but these moments are only the beginning. Because sometimes, reality is far stranger and far more inspiring than anything the human mind could ever imagine. Sometimes, the most unreal moments caught on camera aren't about disasters or miracles, they're about love. The kind of love that defies time, distance, and fate. The kind that happens when two people collide by chance, and the universe decides their story deserves to be told. It started on a rainy evening in Paris. The sky wept over the cobblestone streets, the Eiffel Tower glowing faintly through the mist. A tourist vlogger named Evelyn had set up her camera under a cafe umbrella to film the sound of raindrops, that soothing rhythm that made strangers slow down and breathe. Across the street, a street musician named Lucas strummed his guitar, playing a soft tune that floated through the drizzle. He wasn't performing for an audience, he was simply lost in his melody. As Evelyn filmed, her lens found him drenched in rain, eyes closed, fingers dancing over the strings like they belonged there. There was something in that frame, something pure and cinematic. She smiled behind the camera, unaware that she had just captured the first moment of a story millions would later call Love in the Rain. The video went viral not for the music, but for the emotion frozen in those few seconds. Commenters around the world said the scene looked like a movie, asking who the man was, if they had ever met, if the ending was happy. What they didn't know was that Evelyn returned to that same street every day after. And one day, Luca wasn't just a figure behind her lens, he was sitting across from her, sharing a cup of coffee, laughing as if they'd known each other forever. Over the next few months, Evelyn's camera became their silent companion. It caught stolen glances, laughter in the park, sunset walks along the Seine, and even the moment they painted their initials on the bridge by the river. She uploaded small clips, short, poetic snippets of love in motion. None of it was staged. Every smile was real, every touch honest. Then came the moment no one expected. Evelyn received news that her visa was expiring. She would have to return home to Canada. Their love, captured so beautifully, was about to face its hardest test. The night before she left, Luca took her back to the same cafe where they met. Rain fell again, softly this time, as if repeating the first act. He sang her favorite song, not for the crowd but just for her. Evelyn, tears mixing with rain, recorded it her final video in Paris. That clip, titled Our Last Song in the Rain, reached millions. Viewers felt their heartbreak, their unspoken promises, and the truth that love isn't measured in time, but in connection. The comments flooded in. You can feel their souls, one wrote. This is what real love looks like, said another. Months passed. Evelyn continued posting travel videos from her hometown in Canada, but her followers noticed something: she never smiled the same way again. The Paris series became legendary online, a digital love letter that felt too real to be fiction. Then, almost a year later, another video appeared on her channel. The thumbnail showed an airport terminal, gray, cold, ordinary. The title simply read, Unreal Moment. The video began with Evelyn walking through the arrivals hall, camera in hand, narrating softly. It's been 347 days since I left Paris, she said. I don't know if he'll be here. I just had to see. She waited. Minutes passed. The crowd around her blurred. Then suddenly that same familiar guitar sound echoed from somewhere behind her. She turned, camera trembling, and there he was. Lucas stood there, holding his guitar, smiling through tears. The music swelled, the airport filled with applause, and Evelyn ran into his arms. The camera fell to the floor, still recording, capturing only their silhouettes, a blur of movement, laughter, and the sound of rain echoing in memory. That moment, unscripted, pure, almost unbelievable, became one of the most viewed love stories on the internet. It wasn't a performance, it was destiny captured in pixels. News outlets called it the love story that the world filmed together. People across continents said it restored their faith in real love. Later, Evelyn uploaded one last video, a montage of their moments from the very beginning. Her voice narrated softly. Sometimes, the unreal moments we capture aren't accidents. Maybe they're reminders that love doesn't follow logic, it finds you, even in the rain. The screen faded to black, but the story didn't end there. Somewhere, on a quiet Paris street, two lovers still walk hand in hand, a camera swinging gently between them, recording a world that once doubted love could be this real. Because the most shocking thing isn't that cameras can capture love, it's that love, when it's true, needs no script, no direction, and no second take. Months passed since the airport reunion. The world had witnessed their story, and Evelyn and Luca had become symbols of modern love. People called them the couple that made the internet believe again. But beyond the viral fame, beyond the millions of likes and comments, there was just two people trying to live a real love story in a world that never stopped watching. They settled in Paris again, in a small apartment near Montmartre. The same cobblestone streets that once framed their beginning now echoed with their laughter. Evelyn filmed travel vlogs and lifestyle videos, while Luca's street performances started drawing small crowds, many holding phones to record the man who sang love into existence. They were happy, too happy, perhaps, and sometimes happiness makes people forget that life can change without warning. It started with silence. Luca's music gig slowed down when his hand began trembling, first just a small shake, then something worse. He brushed it off, laughing it away, saying, "Maybe my guitar just misses your touch." But Evelyn saw the truth in his eyes. Her camera captured small moments, his clenched jaw, his left hand struggling to press the strings. The footage, later found on her private drive, wasn't meant for the world. It was meant for her memory, the way love looks when it's fighting time itself. Doctors called it early nerve degeneration, not life-threatening, but cruel for a musician. Luca was told he might lose his ability to play. The world that once adored his music had no idea of the pain behind his smile. Evelyn stopped posting for weeks. When she finally did, the video was simple, no makeup, no fancy edit. Just her and Luca, sitting on their balcony, holding hands. "We promised to keep filming the real moments," she whispered. "So this is real. This is where we are." The video broke hearts everywhere. The internet that once saw them as a cinematic couple now saw their humanity, fragile, scared, but still holding on. Support flooded in from around the world. People sent messages, songs, and stories of resilience. It was as if millions were standing behind them, whispering, "Don't give up." But love isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, like the nights when Evelyn stayed up, massaging his hand, or when Luca, unable to play, hummed her favorite song so she could sleep. The camera caught small details, the tea mug beside the bed, the rain outside, the way she looked at him like he was still the man in the music, even if the music had changed. Then came the moment that tested everything. Evelyn was offered a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, a travel documentary deal in Asia. It was her dream, one she'd chased before Luca ever strummed his first note for her. But it meant leaving Paris for 6 months. Luca encouraged her to go. "You can't stop your story for mine," he said softly. "We'll write this chapter apart." The goodbye wasn't dramatic. It was tender, the kind that makes your heart ache more because it feels so real. At the airport, the same place where they'd reunited months ago, Evelyn recorded their farewell. This time, there was no music, just the sound of her voice breaking as she said, "I'll see you when the leaves change." He kissed her forehead and whispered, "Then I'll wait for autumn." Her journey across Asia filled her videos with breathtaking scenes: temples in Thailand, sunsets in Bali, the lantern festivals of Japan. But through it all, every video had a piece of him: a guitar charm on her wrist, a lyric quoted in the captions, a song playing faintly in the background. Viewers noticed. They commented, "You can feel she's filming with half her heart still in Paris." Meanwhile, Lucas started a new kind of music. Unable to play as he used to, he began composing using digital tools, layering samples of street sounds: rain, footsteps, laughter, creating symphonies of everyday life. One night, he released a track online titled "Autumn Will Bring You Back." Within days, it went viral. People cried, saying they could feel Evelyn in every note. Unbeknownst to him, Evelyn heard that song while sitting on a train in Kyoto. Someone nearby played it aloud, and when she recognized it, her eyes filled with tears. She turned her camera on herself, whispering, "He kept his promise." That clip, unscripted, shaky, emotional, became one of her most loved moments ever. By the time she returned to Paris, the leaves had indeed begun to fall. The air was cool, golden, and quiet. She walked down the same street where it all began: the cafe, the bridge, the rain-soaked memories. But Luca wasn't there. The cafe owner handed her an envelope. Inside was a note. "If love is real, it doesn't fade. It transforms. Follow the sound of the city, I'll be there." She followed the sounds through alleys, across bridges, until she heard it, Lucas' song, played not by him but by dozens of street musicians across Paris, all performing his melody at the same time. It was his gift, a living symphony of their love echoing through the city. At the end of the path, under the bridge where their initials were still carved, he stood waiting, smiling, a guitar hanging loosely by his side. Evelyn dropped her camera, ran to him, and the world disappeared once again. Two souls caught in a moment too perfect, too emotional, too unreal to ever be planned. The camera, still recording, captured only the sound of wind and the faintest whisper. Love doesn't end when you're apart. It begins when you find your way back. The night they found each other again under the bridge, Paris glowed like it was painted for them. The moon shimmered across the river Seine, street lights flickered gold, and their reflections swayed together in the ripples of the water. The city was silent except for the hum of Luca's new song drifting softly through the air, a melody that didn't come from his fingers, but from his soul. Evelyn had turned her camera back on without realizing it, capturing their embrace, their laughter, and that unspoken relief that comes when you finally return home, not to a place, but to a person. For a while, life seemed to pause in perfection. Their story, once the internet's favorite fairy tale, became their quiet reality again. They walked through markets, cooked together, danced in the kitchen when it rained. Evelyn's videos became less about travel and more about stillness, the poetry of small things. Luca taught neighborhood kids music, helping them create sound from heartbeats and rhythm from chaos. The camera would sometimes find him smiling at them, whispering, "The world sings when you listen close." But time, as always, kept moving. And love, no matter how strong, must move with it. Luca's condition began to worsen. His tremors spread, his voice grew weaker. He hid it as long as he could, but one evening, as they were filming a simple dinner vlog, his hand dropped the glass. It shattered across the floor. The camera caught the sound, sharp, sudden, final. He looked at her, eyes glistening, and said, "Promise me if I can't play anymore, you'll still keep filming. Someone has to finish our story." Evelyn didn't post for months after that. She focused on caring for him, the music, the laughter, the city fading softly around their apartment. But one morning, as sunlight streamed through their window, she found a note beside her camera. It was written in Luca's handwriting. "If you're reading this, it means I couldn't wake you one more time. But that's okay. Because you gave me forever, even if it was only a few years. Don't let our story end in silence. Film the world like you filmed me with love. The next scene that the world would see would become one of the most heartbreaking viral videos ever uploaded. It began with a still frame of Luca's guitar resting on a chair, sunlight filtering through lace curtains. Evelyn's voice trembled over the footage. He told me love doesn't stop when one person leaves, it keeps echoing in everything they touched. She showed clips of him teaching music, their coffee cups side by side, the bridge where they met, and a single red rose laid on the railing. Then came the last shot, a time-lapse of her standing by the river, camera on a tripod, as day turned to night. The city lights flickered on, one by one, and her voice whispered, "You can stop recording, but love keeps playing." The video broke every record imaginable. It was shared by millions, translated into dozens of languages, and even shown at film festivals. Critics called it the love story that lived beyond the lens. Strangers left comments saying it changed the way they saw love, loss, and life itself. Some said it made them call someone they hadn't spoken to in years. Others said it made them believe in something again, something pure. But Evelyn didn't read the comments. She left Paris soon after. For a year, no one knew where she went. Until one morning, her YouTube channel suddenly came alive again. A new video appeared, simple title, Unreal Moment. It opened on a quiet beach at sunrise. The sea stretched endlessly, waves whispering secrets to the sand. Evelyn walked into frame, holding her camera. She looked older, calmer, and in her eyes was peace, the kind that only comes after loving deeply. "It's been 3 years, she said softly. 3 years since the man I loved became a song. And every sunrise since then, I've filmed the world, the wind, the faces, the moments that remind me he's still here." She turned the camera toward the horizon. There, sitting in the sand, was Luca's old guitar, now weathered, strings rusted, but still whole. She strummed it once. The sound was soft, imperfect, but beautiful. "He used to say the world sings when you listen close," she smiled. "And now I hear him everywhere, in the sea, the rain, the laughter of strangers." The final shot panned upward, the sky burning gold and crimson, waves crashing, seagulls soaring. Then her voice whispered one last time, "Every love leaves something behind. Some leave memories. Ours left music." As the music swelled, Luca's melody, woven with the sounds of the ocean, the screen faded to black. But before it did, one final frame appeared. Film frames in memory of all the moments that felt too real to be fiction. The comment section filled within hours. Some said they cried. Others said they smiled through tears. But everyone agreed on one thing, that love, once captured with truth, never really dies. It just becomes light flickering through pixels, through memories, through time. And somewhere, perhaps in another corner of the world, under another rain-soaked sky, a camera will switch on again and two souls will meet, unaware that they are about to create the next unreal moment that will make the world believe all over again.